Happy New Year. It's Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019. This is your daily Forex trading strategy session, hosted at the Forex.Today YouTube channel. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. But please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Ni hao. Let me remind you that trading is risky. Oh, wait, I already did that. Hey, I didn't introduce myself, huh? Hi, my name is Wayne McDonald. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you so much for being a client to Traders Way. We appreciate you. We work hard for you. Fast execution speed, low spreads, world-class customer service. Please visit TradersWay.com. Open an account today. It keeps these free daily webinars available to you. And what do? We do technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology. Generally, I answer any Forex-related question you have. So thank you for visiting these webinars at 7:30 in the morning. New York time. So it's Wednesday. Is that right? It was Wednesday. It's funny. I thought it was Thursday. Yeah, well, if Microsoft says it's Wednesday, it must be true. And then we got, so tomorrow's Thursday, and then we got non-farm payrolls coming up on Friday. Could be very interesting. So happy January. I'm very glad you made it through New Year's Eve alive. In America, it's usually where people get drunk and then start driving all over the place. Not a happy day in my books. So I try to stay off the roads. Keep my kids close, you know. So happy 2019. 2018, it had its ups, it had its downs. Very interesting year. Now, typically I start January with buying Japanese yen. You know that. We've talked about it, I'd say at least 100 times in the last year. That this would be when, you know. So anyways, let's see what happens. That's all I can say. Let's see what happens from here. These moves happened, as you know, a little bit earlier than many years past. Not every year, but many years past. That throws it out. Anyways. Juan says golf carts don't go that fast. You'd be surprised. There's been some pretty serious golf cart accidents. You know, like People is Stupid. The best one I've ever heard is a nanny is driving the family golf cart with the two young children, a tow. And she's driving along and she sees a beautiful rock. I don't know, but something that I guess she wants to put in the garden. So she stops the golf cart and she grabs this big boulder, you know, with two hands and throws it in onto the floor of the golf cart, which then hits the gas pedal, takes the brake off, and the golf cart takes off with the two young children inside the golf cart. And that's why you should not hire stupid people to take care of your children. So being in Georgia, we burn that witch at the stake. That's what happens in Georgia. But anyways, it's a true story. As terrible as that is, it's actually true. All right, so let's just start. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of support levels have been broken. If you remember, when was it? Late last week? Right before Christmas, right after Christmas, somewhere in here, we said that if we broke below this area, you know, that's another indication that this is bearish, 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 bearish. I did a big conversation here about needing the higher high before the higher low. Otherwise, you're just sort of betting on reversals and standing in front of freight trains, and tried to use a lot of different analogies. But, oh yeah, so Japanese yen is strong. And as you know, we expect it to be strong this time of year. Okay, so really what happened is this move happened a couple of weeks early, but nonetheless, fundamentals is fundamentals, right? Loving, oh, what, behind me? Yeah, so I need to set it up. I mean, it's not actually set up. All right. By the way, I used to have a B&O television. You guys know Bauf and Alfstein or whatever? That B&O TV was about this size, and it required 2 people to lift it because it was glass and steel and gold and everything. It was a $50,000 plasma TV. Anyways, look at this. Anyways, pretty cool, I think. And so I'll get rid of the 75, and you'll see that 3 of those 43s will be just a little bit wider than 175. Yes. But yeah, B&O, Joe? Yeah, I literally had one. The remote control was worth $200 used, and it had special wiring because it had to plug into a special box and all this kind of stuff. But the TV itself, I'm not joking, a 50-inch plasma required 2 people to lift it. It was heavy. And then you get like a 50-inch Vizio, and you can spin it on one finger like a baseball or like a basketball. B&Os and Vizios are 2 different things for sure. But anyway, so I got that, and my PC showed up. Actually. So anyway, so I got to hook all that up. But that's 12 cores, 64 gigs of RAM, 240 gig solid state boot disk. But remember, all I run is Windows and MT4, so I actually don't need any other space. But then the other hard disk is not a solid state; it's a regular hard disk, and that's like 2 terabytes or something, which I'm not even going to use. Kenny says, "Big beast." You know, the other one is bigger. So that one is a server, so it's solid. I mean, it's solid. There's no plastic on that one. The other one was made by, I thought it was Porsche design. Someone else was telling me that it was BMW, but I don't think that's right. Porsche, I believe it's Porsche design. So it's much nicer, but this is way more powerful. So apparently if you take your i7 Extreme, something like that, like the really, really powerful i7 processor, this is like 4 times faster, something like that, 400% faster than it. But anyways, but you know, 12 cores it should, and of course it's overkill. But these other machines I bought have just performed so poorly. I don't know why. So I just throw money at the problem and make it go away. So that's what I did. So anyways, I'll be setting that up. Okay. So if anyone knows anything about computers, it's an HP XW9400. WX9400. Does that mean anything to anybody? It's just supposed to be good. That's all I know. All right. So we'll move on.com. So I'll put the video together. I'm going to pull everything down. I have to redo all my arrays. I have to take some arrays down. I have to install a whole bunch of these onto the wall, and then I've got to all that kind of stuff. Powerful? It is, Ian? Cool. Aaron says, thanks, Wayne, for the pound pairs on Friday. Yeah, well, not a problem. Yeah, you know, Ed, you're probably right, and maybe I'll redo it again. But, you know, they're high quality Samsung 4Ks. I couldn't find monitors at the right price and all that. And I've forgotten, these are at least 120, and they might be 240s as far as refresh rate and stuff. But yeah, I know what you're saying, and I'm hoping it's going to be all right, Ed. But you're definitely right. All right, so let's go. I should change camera. Ian says, yeah, the pound gave up all. Oh, we can go. We can start with that if you want. Yeah, so we were here, right? Remember I said you don't want to bet on reversals, right? So we were here, and he said, look, we're at support, and this is the one price you want that a bull would want to buy. And we also knew back here that no one could actually sell it at that point. I guess we were here, right? But anyways, long story short, it's better to bet on the trend, and you're going to get lucky more often betting on the trend. Ed says he's got 627s dedicated monitors. Sweet. Yeah, and you got the curved ones. Oh, my hair. I don't even know what you mean. Like this? Are you talking about like the webcam? It looks not neat camera result. Huh. Yeah, Ed, that's cool. I mean, I had 1822.5s, and I'm just trying to keep the same amount of real estate, just have less screens. But anyways, I can mess around with various setups, and maybe other people besides myself learn something. Okay. Anyways, going back to this, what we were talking about before is, you know, you want to see higher highs before you start betting on the fact that this is reversed. Okay. And that on the long run, the reason that you want to be a trend trader is you're going to get lucky more and more often betting on the trend. Okay. Just because that's what a trend is, right? So we were talking about this before where, you know, it's going to do this until it stops, right? So, yeah, is my webcam messed up? Mary says camera's messed up. Yeah, Ed, it's, you know, Ed, I don't think it's any, I think you're right, and I don't think you're ever happy. Not you, but me. Maybe it's me. I don't think I'm ever going to be happy. Maybe I could. I have a friend, I sat on a board with him, who's now the president and not CEO, though, I think a president of a company that makes, you know, the most outrageous, incredible high resolution video walls, right? And that would be cool, and stuff. But I don't know. I'll have to ping him. So maybe it'll end up me twisting his arm or something one day. Okay. Mary says, why is the yen very healthy? Well, go back to the last 300 videos I've made. And in those 300 videos, I say in this December-January period that the Japanese yen will be strong. So it would be that. Oh, am I bright? Is that what it is? Yeah. You also have to understand that I'm Canadian. I'm pale, guys. I'm ugly. You know, ugly people turn their avert their eyes when I walk in the room because they don't want to look at me. So maybe it's just the. Yeah, it's true, Simon. Yeah, I thought about getting the frame, the Samsung frame, but we're not quite there yet for PCs and stuff for me to get. You know, I was actually looking for an 8K 75-inch screen, and they basically didn't make them for under $100,000, so it just seemed funny. So, anyways, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. We'll do maybe a special event for the setup or something. I don't know. So, anyways, oh yeah. So you wanted to talk pound? Okay, we'll go in here. So where were we before? The pound was very, very strong, and I did this whole. Was it the swing trading group I did this for, or was it for somebody else? You know what, guys? I don't remember. But anyways, the topic of the conversation at the time was the British pound was very, very, very strong. And I gave like 9 reasons why you couldn't buy it, or you shouldn't buy it. You could buy it and be a bad trader. But anyways, we talked about how you couldn't buy it. And if you were to buy it, you would have to wait for like a drop. As you can see, I drew this out and I drew support and stuff. But the whole point I talked about here last week. Okay, all right, thank you, RJ. So, anyways, it's just technical analysis. Like you can see here, this tells us down, and you can see here this whole pink area that tells us down. So what kind of buffoon would buy it in here, right? Like, would you feel bad for someone that bought it there? I wouldn't. I used to say, good, hey, the people that buy it in there, put my kids through college. No, they put me through college. Yeah, I got a year and a half to 2 years more of school, and it's starting to add up. Like financially, you're like, dude, this school thing, this whole Harvard thing's getting pricey. So, anyways, I need people to buy here to put me through college and then put my kids through college. Oh my gosh, right? But anyways, like these are 2 areas in which price is supposed to fall. And note, right before this big drop, you have incredible bullishness, right? Yeah, so what? Right? That's cool, isn't it? I think it's cool. And the other thing is we talked about this being a move of profit taking, and that this would be a great area for anyone that had sold 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, last month, right? That they would simply come back into the game when the new year starts, right? And that there's an element that this just continues mission now, and this upward move was not buyers, it was bears. So it wasn't bulls buying, it was bears buying. By the way, did that help, that sort of new angle to describe things, did that help anybody? Where I was talking about bears buying, not bulls buying, and the difference, and how that could help you set up proper future trade plans? Or do they confuse people where they're just like, I don't know what he's talking about anymore, or what? Was there any kind of feedback on that? Eli helped Eli and Sheldon, because I don't think I've ever described it that way, right? Sheldon's, right on. Well, good then. I suppose that's good. I don't know what the other 120 people are thinking, but but thank you to the 6 of you. Yeah. Oh, yes, awesome. I documented the information and made it part of my plan for the week. Well, there you go. Who would be buying where? Well, that's really taking it in the right direction, Azabu. That's really cool. So above and beyond for that, you get a shiny sticker on your homework. Thank you, RJ. Okay. Yeah. So now what? What are you going to do with it? Are you now a bear on this? Were you a bear? Are you a bull? How all these things you have to. I was thinking like there isn't a right. There's only a trade. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, Henley, January 1st is not my birthday, but thank you. What does it say on Facebook or something that's my birthday? Yeah, thank you, Facebook. But you're good people, Henley. Thank you. Is that a teacup pattern? No, there's no such thing, Kyle. Forget it. Anyways, cool, right? All right. So what I was trying to say is there isn't right or wrong. There's only your next trade. Okay. So just because now it's dropped doesn't mean it has to fall forever, right? If you wanted to be a bull, because we don't know the future, so we only know if your bias. You might want to try to buy down here. Oh, somebody said something about sending me cigars. I used to have like a cigar fund, and people would send that. I set this thing up, like someone just subscribed. Here, let me move this thing out of the way. Fabio MSX just subscribed. Thank you, Fabio MSX. I set it up so like this software can actually let you do that now, but I've forgotten how to do it. to send me a cigar. How do I do it? I'm afraid if I click something, it's going to go away. How do I do it? I don't think I can while we're on. It's lame, but I don't know. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? What do these things mean if I click them? Hang on, guys. Yeah. A golf fund for gym. Hang on. GoFundMe. That's funny. No, I don't. See, I don't know. I hope this didn't kill the webinar. Did they kill the webinar? I hope not. Hang on. Oh, here it is. It'll track it in the webinar. I'm supposed to probably put a button somehow. I'm not that clever. All right. Am I back? Am I still here? No, Ron, that still works. The problem is apparently international people can't buy it for some reason. Anyways. All right, cool. So apparently, if you click that and buy me cigars, it's going to go pa-ching, and it'll say it in the webinar, and it tracks it and stuff. But I don't know. Someone brought it up last time, and I feel silly bringing it up now. But anyways, that's that. All right, so yeah. So I'm not saying you should be a bull, but if you happen to be a bull and you're desperate to buy, this seems pretty decent right now. It's a monthly pivot, and it's some sort of bottom. And your plan B for a bull would be way down here. But I already set this up, what was it, 2 days ago? I guess I already set this up as a short. So if you're not in that, then you're behind the 8 ball. So now you can't sell it anymore. Remember up here I said, look, you can't buy it, but you can sell it. And it was all green. Now it's all red. And I'm like, now you can't sell it because it's all red. You don't sell all red, but you can think about maybe buying red. If you happen to be a bull, that might be a better idea. Around, 126 is down here even further. So anyways, this would be plan A, and this would be plan B. This was plan A for bears. Plan B, I think, would be a rally up into this area and then drop down to this area, which bears would buy, but bulls would buy. You see that? Do you see that concept? Okay, or down here. So let's say it did this, it did this, it did this. Okay, bears would buy here, bulls would buy here, and it could be a full-on reversal. But I don't want to plan that out right now. So remember, this time of year, for various reasons, I'm very open-minded to stock market going down, treasuries going up, and that. And oh, by the way, speaking about treasuries, did you see the yield this morning on the 10-year? Holy crap! Like, what was it, 2.65 or something? Like, I swear to you, if you asked me in October if that would happen, I'd say no way, absolutely no way. A revisit to 3.0 or 2.85 or 2.9, 2.95. I'm like, yeah, but that's seasonal. I'd say, yeah, it's seasonal. 2.65, like, holy crap, is my thought. And I'll give you an example. I think it was about, when was it? May of 2018. I'm sitting by my friend's pool. We're smoking cigars. His wife was out of town. Quick, come over. My wife's out of town. Let's smoke a cigar. So anyways, we're sitting by his pool, and we're talking about the stock market and such, because he's got a lot of money in the market. We're smoking a cigar. And I said, it's something interesting happened today, that day. So we have to look it up. Maybe it wasn't May. I don't think it was June yet. But anyways, I said something happened recently. I don't think it was that day, but it was very, very recent to that day. And I said, I think it's a real turning point, and it actually means something important. And that's the 10-year Treasury clearly broke above 3.0. And it looks like it's going to stay there like forever. And then it went from 3.0 to 3.1 to 3.2 to 3.25. And very, very, very healthy, right? $2.65? What the heck happened there? Holy crap, we're not supposed to be back there. So, wow. So I'm really re-investigating everything I know. I got to be very careful, very cognitive, and I have to be very honest with myself in case I trade what I want versus what there is, right? I have to be an analyst first before the trader, being a trader. So 2.65 on the 10-year, I never saw that coming. No way, Jose. So I need to be careful. All right, so anyways, just trying to be, like I said, open and honest. Great. Pound Swissy. How do you want to treat this? I'd call that a bottom, huh? What do you think? And I already got this marked up. I don't quite remember the conversation, but wow, look at that. Another beautiful short, huh? It's a beautiful short. So when things are right? When things are well, guys, this is supposed to be weak. So we don't know if this is all Brexit stuff or if it's risk off. I think in the case of the pound, it's both Brexit and risk off. Because in January, the beginning of January, and we'll say the middle of March, I would assume this would get strong. Excuse me. I would assume that gets strong. So we already have that sort of baked in our cake here. Okay. Now, how do you want to trade it? Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what I said when we were here is that you would sell this, or there'd be like this kind of thing later. One or the two. If you want to be a bull, I'm okay with that, but you need to be thinking about bullishness sort of in this zone. And maybe we stay in the range, which is also plausible. Okay? What I would think, if I were to throw a Hail Mary out there, I think we'd get something more like, well, this is, I guess it's going to be that way. Thank you, Georgie. I was thinking more, like this. Okay, we got to get through non-farm payrolls and stuff, don't we? Mirjam says, I think it hit a big resistance level and we'll do it. Well, once again, I want to emphasize something. Back in, let's say, February and March and April and May and June and July, we talked about this happening on the Swissy pairs and on the yen, but more specifically the yen pairs. So like when someone says, well, I think it has to do with this, blah, blah, blah. No, you're right. No, whatever you see technically is not why. Okay. It's not something that you see on these charts that made these yen pairs move, all right? So when Miriam says, I think it hit a big resistance level and then we'll do a big push down. No, you've missed the whole thing. You totally missed it, right? You missed it. If you see it and you're talking about it and you think it hit a resistance level, now it's going to, no, that's not why. Anyways. Okay, what else going on here? Pound Aussie, double top at a take profit zone, right? So one theory is bulls sell here, and then the other theory is bears sell here. And if you get a low lower than this, right, you'll probably get a move like that. The problem is this is not a risk-off currency. Mirjam, never, ever, 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 ever would I vape. Ever. I would never, ever vape. Never. What is that? Ugh. But anyways, it's the exact opposite of why I smoke cigars. I couldn't imagine something so opposite of what I do. Anyways, so let's get out of that. That's what you would think based on the other moves, but that's not happening. And the part I want to make is in a risk-off world, Swissy is typically pretty good. Yen is typically pretty good. And based on the situation, dollar can often get strong, but depending on the situation. In this case, we would need foreigners freaking out. Like, let's say the bad China data that has come out over the weekend, but also last week, there's multiple reports now of contraction, which means there are things that are 49.9999999 or less. Anything less than 50 is a contraction, right? So anything south of 50 is literally recessionary in the sense that the results are not they're contracting. What can I say? Very, 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 very bad. And we've had that out of China. Now, is it the trade war with the U.S.? Is it the lack of purchasing from Europe? Yeah, and yeah. Okay. Do I watch the dollar index at all? Not really. Look, here's a decent dollar index, right? Okay, you look at the correlation, but then you could do something like this. You can go insert indicators, custom, and inputs, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, okay. Boom, there's your dollar index. Let's give it a green color, like money. That's gray. It looks green to me. Cadet blue. Dark olive green. Yeah, it's not quite green enough. Let's give it one up. Dark forest green. Dark slate gray. We'll do dark green. Boom! There's your dollar index. Hey, Robbie. Uh, 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Except this Friday is non-farm payrolls, and I do a live stream at the FX Street YouTube channel. But otherwise, Robbie, I'm here every day. So there's your dollar index if you need it. Okay, and that's what you would expect in a risk-off scenario. And you really need to. You should already know that was coming. Legalize it. Welcome to the family. Okay, so this tells us that it's not just Aussie weakness, but specifically some dollar strength. That's cool. Now, what I'll say it for the 100,000th time, there'll likely be a false rally in the third week of January, just so you know. It could rally a week or two or three or 4 days. I never know. But there should be a false rally in there near, there's holidays and Fed meetings. All these things kind of change things. But anyways, I would expect a false stock market rally in the third week of January, and then we'll probably start February with another drop in the stock market. So get used to 300 pips down, 200 pips up. What's the name of that indicator? Index dollar. Got it? Take a screenshot. Okay, there you go. Well, like I said, you don't need that when you have your currency. So when you download my chart templates, one of the things I give you is not just chart templates, but I give you all my profiles. And that helps you organize your charts, right? So when you click on Scan USD, these are all USD pairs. Denominator, oh, this is on the wrong side. Numerator. numerator, yeah, so this is supposed to be here and this is supposed to be there. Let's see if I got this right. Numerator, 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 denominator, denominator, denominator. All right, cool. So what can we learn in a millisecond? Well, first of all, let's make sure they're all roughly the same time frame. 1 minute is not fair. Okay. Dollar strong versus the pound, dollar strong versus the Aussie. Dollar's fairly strong, maybe not as strong, but fairly strong against the euro. Dollar and CAD are essentially neutral or close to neutral. So let's see, dollar strong, dollar strong, dollar strong. Dollar strong, CAD strong? Zoom in on ZAR, dollar strong against ZAR. But look at this, yen stronger than dollar. So yen is strongest. CAD and dollar are relatively strong. But it looks like we're best off selling like pound yen, Aussie yen, euro yen, ZAR yen, and not CAD yen. And you could do this, it typically takes me about 2 seconds. And I'll look at that and then I'll just say, oh, great, so, and then you pull up, pound yen. Right, but what I'm trying to say, Mayor, is we talked about this as a fact 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, that today the yen would be strong. We talked about it 2 years ago. We talked about it 6 years ago. We talked about it 9 years ago. We talked about it 11 years ago, so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to say it's not a surprise. And it's certainly not because somebody hit some level of resistance and they're like, oh, well, it fell because of that resistance. No, no. Okay, cool. So that's how that works, guys. And then you can start creating trade plans from that. I called the Widowmaker move like nobody's business. Cool. Well, thank you for being a client to Trader's Way, Jeremy. Jeremy, right? Jeremy, open the account to Trader's Way to make sure you're paying it back, right, Jeremy? Cool. I had an idea, but I just lost it. Okay, anyways. Oh, I know. How many people are interested in having the dollar index indicator? Where do I put it here? Right on, Jeremy. Thank you for being a client to Trader's Way. How many people want this or would want this dollar index indicator? Tips? Tips wants it. Charles? Ian? Yeah? That's it? 162 people, only 4 want it, Gary? All right. Okay. If you have downloaded my chart setups, the download link is in the description below. It's not in the downloads, but if you have downloaded it, I will email you the dollar index. So I'll send out an email to everyone that's ever downloaded my chart templates, and I'll say, hey, here it is, compliments of the firm. And I won't make you fill out forms and stuff. You've already done that. So I'll just email it to you. You click a button, and it'll download. Okay? So if you want that, get on the list. If you're not on the list, download my chart templates, and then you'll get another email me on the side, and I'll say, hey, here it is. Okay? And it's just sort of a thank you for being part of the Cool Kids Club. All right. So let's move on.com. So Ripper, unbelievably strong yen, as we expected. Anil! Thank you for subscribing. And Viper. Haha, see, I was faster than the alert. Viper. Right? Why have one Viper when you can have multiple Vipers? Cool. So let's go in here. Let's get out of this. This is part of the day trading setup I gave you guys. Let's reset this. Oh, one last thing too. The swing trading group is starting up, right? Friday's non-farm payrolls. So we'll have to do the meeting, I guess, on Sunday when the market's open. But if anyone's going to join that you need to sign up today. Thank you, Carl. You need to sign up today for that if you're joining the swing trading group. So that's at fxbootcamp.com. And remember, it's not just swing trading this time around. It's a daily day trading group and a weekly/monthly swing trading group. So you're going to learn day trading and swing trading. But you need to sign up now at fxbootcamp.com. All right. Let's go in here. Let's find a resistance. Okay, that's what we expected before. We did this, 2 days ago? Back out. Okay, I need to change time frames, I guess. All right, so we're going nowhere, and we're going nowhere slowly. A bullish buy zone would be in here if you're looking to buy. But you can see, it's not great. None of this is great. I don't feel great about Euro in general. That's right, Jimbo. Yeah, Sheldon, NFP is on Friday. Jeremy, fxbootcamp.com. H2P gone. FN. Oh, I guess I gotta go www.fxbootcamp.com. And you'll see one that says live day trading and swing trading group with performance coaching. Longest name ever, but it's in there. Okay. All right. So I look at this and I'm not super excited, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. I look at that just not super excited. If you're a bear, however, this is already from 2 days ago, but I already set you up with this. So if you're on vacation, because I did, how many webinars did I do over the vacation? I think I did 3, didn't I? So if you were too busy vacationing instead of setting up your charts, then boo-hoo, right? But anyways, we've already covered this. When this was bullish, we had this as a sell, and the potential target here is that. Yeah. So this could be one of these sort of weeks. It might take 2 weeks, but anyways. Yeah, 2, maybe 3. Was it 3? Yeah, well, there's that one webinar that we didn't tell Jim about, right? Just kidding, Jim. Yeah. Rats! Yeah. Whereas a pirate would say, I sure do like R, but I love the C. Favorite dad joke ever. You owe me wine. All right. I want to see if it works. It's supposed to pop up if you make a tip. If you give me a tip, it's supposed to go cha. Azabu gave a tip or something. I don't know. I'm just going to spend it on wine and cigars, so don't go crazy. Yeah, you didn't like that one, Ian? I love it. All right. So anyways, I look at that like, yeah, that's the potential move here. And it's set up so beautifully, and somebody did take it. But, okay, so that's what's in play. But then you back yourself out a bit, and you're like, yeah, but nothing's going on in this world. Nothing, but it's a legitimate trade. You got the perfect price. Somebody took it. I mean, somebody did their job, but what do you do now? Like, is there any follow-on? I don't know. So now you're going to need to let it hit here and then bounce up and catch a lower high, maybe here, but all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Oh, you wanted, yeah, you're doing this down into this cluster? Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Are you going to take profit there? And I guess maybe sell a rally again? Yeah, I get that. Nothing wrong with putting money in your pocket, right? Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's do some oil. Let's get off the weekly. All right, so what is my hypothesis? One of the things I said about a week ago is that I'm wondering if I should be buying this dip. I think I said 44. I think I said 44, didn't I? So, I think the last webinar I did, I can't remember if it was yesterday. No, yesterday we were closed. I guess it was December 31st. I did a 2-hour webinar on the holidays. You know what I mean? 2-hour webinar. And I believe in that webinar, we discussed this, and more importantly, why, and then how that affects EM. Thank you, Darren. And how that affects emerging markets, right? And I gave three different things I'm looking for. 1, 2, and 3 to maybe consider buying emerging markets in 2019. If you missed that, not my fault. Right? Daddy was working. Right? Oh, yeah, no, Ian's fine. No, Ian, like I've said multiple times today, we discussed dollar and yen being strong specifically today, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 9 years ago, 11 years ago. It's so predictable that, I don't know, make up your own analogy. The thing that didn't work out smoothly this year was the moves actually started 2 weeks earlier than I generally see. Not always, because remember, I talk about the true beginning being Thanksgiving. Do you guys remember the conversations I had where I was sharing with you about Thanksgiving, where some Thanksgivings, nothing really happens. Sometimes the yen pairs weaken, but I'm already in the yen pair, so it doesn't really matter. But I've had Thanksgivings where I can't even cut through the turkey, and I have so this year I had 13 guests over, right? Anyways, that particular year I remember carving the turkey, and there's chatter going on, and people talking, and there was something, and I just couldn't wait to get out of that room. Like literally, I just walked in. I hadn't spent any time with anybody. It was time to carve the turkey. So I'm carving the turkey like, there's your damn food. I got to go back to my charts because the yens were strengthening that day in a very big way. And that move really happened early this that particular year. So long story short, it does happen. December 1st is early for the yen move, but not impossible. Okay. Sheldon, I discussed that 15 minutes ago, so let me say it again. We're going to have a false rally the third week of January, and then probably closer to we'll get a stabilization around the second Fed meeting, and then probably a rally in May. Oh, totally. I get that data. Okay. So guys like Sheldon and Ian and stuff, dude, you guys, I don't know, take the fundamental course or I don't know. You're missing things. Like literally, can anyone confirm without a shadow of a doubt that I've discussed yen being strong at this time of year 1 year ago, when did you first hear it? 6 months ago? A year ago? When did I tell you? 2 years ago? Did I tell you 5 years ago that yen would be strong today? Was it 8 years ago? Like, when did you officially first hear with beyond a shadow of a doubt that I clearly specified seasonality? Yeah, but like how long ago, Jim? Was it many times abstractly, or Chuck says 5 years ago, Stephen 3 years ago, Ron says 10 years ago, right? Juan 6 months ago, yeah. Nearly multiple times a week, right? So what I'm saying, guys, is there's something going on here that has nothing to do with your charts. And that, I don't wear watches anymore, but at the time on my Panerai, but today, it says, it was upside down. It says short. Ciao. So, but it moved early. And that happens. Okay? Okay? It happens. And I really don't know. And that's the problem. There's this period between Thanksgiving, but it's generally not Thanksgiving, to December 31st. But if you go to the interview I did on FX Street, I guess it was 3 years ago now. I think it was December 12th, 2016. I did an interview, and I said on that day I had been selling the Japanese yen since the third week of August, which I do every year. And so here it is, December 12th, 2016. I'm in a three-piece suit. I'm in the Caribbean. There's a volcano behind me. And there's like a 1 or 2 hour interview. I guess maybe it was 1 hour interview. Just me. And I describe week by week by week what I'm going to be doing. And I very casually say, well, I've been selling Japanese yen, but I'm expecting to buy it all back starting basically now. And it started that actual day. I didn't know at the time, but I'm like, I'm expecting to, even though I've been selling Japanese yen for months now, I'm going to be buying Japanese yen like crazy starting right about now and certainly by January 1st. And then it's going to drop until the third week of January. Like, go through it. Like I literally say, third week of January, there's going to be a false rally. Then I'm going to be buying yen again, and then it's going to stabilize. Great. And that was 2 years ago. Thank you, Mickey Highlander. Okay, so all I'm trying to say, guys, is that there is something more going on, and you can learn it. the fact you don't know it, one day, like here's the funny thing, you might actually remember today, one day, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Yeah, I noticed that. I'll fix that. But anyways, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back and you'll remember today as the day that you learned something incredibly important, that there's seasonality to what we do, that there's reasons behind this, and it's not your MACD. And if you switch from MACD to ADX to ADI to C, it doesn't matter. That's not what's important. Okay, guys? If you can casually say, oh, in the third week of January, there's going to be false rally in the stock market. It could be 4 days. It might be 4 weeks. It's going to be, it's a turning point where you're planning things not just minutes ahead, but hours, days, weeks, months ahead. You become, Illuminati. Okay? All right. So anyways, going all the way back. I gave 3 things I'm looking for. And it took me probably 20 minutes to explain it all. Then how this may affect emerging markets. And that, wouldn't it be interesting if we do this? Or not do that. But anyways, I might be a buyer in here. And we talked about this a week ago. We talked about this, I think it was even before this drop. No, it was after the drop. So anyways, we were in here when I talked about it. So, it might be time for me to buy this. And, just buy it. Not as a trade, but as an investment. Have you ever thought about that, guys? Sheldon, is there one specifically on seasonality? No. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a 5-minute. It'd be a 5-minute video. It'd be a 1-minute video. But no. Yeah, maybe someday I can think about how to do it. I think we might touch on it in one of Brian's videos. But anyways, it's something that we could put together, Sheldon. Okay, so anyways, as an investment, not as a trade. So, like, for example, I could buy it, let's say, at 44, put my stop here, and just walk away. And if I get knocked out, I get knocked out. Right? So one standard contract, I don't know what minis and stuff. I know what, so, $1,000. I'd be risking about $2,000, I think. So that means if you're trading minis, you'd be trading like $200, I think, is what you're risking. If it went from 44 down to 42. But I might buy it at 44 and sell it at 120. It might take me 8 years. I don't know. But just because, maybe, right? Not quite there yet, but maybe. It's just something that I got in the back of my mind. Like, when does this move stop? Okay. And you can see I got this all pegged out here. Okay. So if I can buy it close to that, that's actually the 42 line. So, I don't know. At some point, like if I'm buying it at 42, I'm kind of just saying we're not going to 32. Like, really? I mean, I just don't see that yet. And I'm worried that I'm missing something because, like the 10-year T-note dropping to 2.65, that's crazy. You know, and oil dropping to 28, that's crazy. But what does it mean if it does it? Yeah, crypto, and I'm worried about that, right? Like, it's a real question. It really could, and it probably will, and I need to be very... Well, okay, let's take all that aside. Let's stop the prediction stuff. Let's say I believe between now and in a year. Okay, let's say in the next 12 months. Is WTI going to be higher than $40 or lower than $40? And I'm going to say higher. So in that case, I see two scenarios here. Okay? This could be a buy. This could be a buy. Okay? So all it really says is in the $44 to $40 area, I can be open-minded enough to buy it. As an investor, now not as a trader. I might have to sit on it 6 months as it moves sideways to up to down. And one of the things I was kind of looking at in my emerging market analysis back on the 31st of the year was, what if it moved basically sideways and Fed interest rates move sideways and then flat? Okay? So I'm not saying up, I'm just saying not down. Yeah, so as an investor, you kind of take the time frame away. You know what I mean? You take the time frame elements away, you buy it, and then eventually you move your stop to break even, and then you forget it. So I don't know. We're getting close is all I'm saying, all I'm suggesting. And I do want oil to stabilize at least. So, you know, we're in the zone where I can contemplate that. Gold, we had a request for gold. Okay. So gold, I already pushed us up here long ago. But now we're like way up there. This is sort of where a bear is going to consider selling, but bears don't sell there, right? A bear would sell this. So it comes down to whether bulls sell. And I could see it, but the only reasoning they have is the monthly pivot, right? Let me get rid of the fib, by the way. Okay. So the only, so I don't know if they're going to pay attention to that. So I'm wondering if we still fall, if the stock market falls till the third week of January, then maybe we get a scenario more like this. And this is where bulls sell. And then we get sort of a move and then kind of work our way around that way on the based on the third week false rally. No, Jeremy, I have not. But again, it's not a trade, it's an investment. So that's less necessary. I'm not trying to be exactly precise. Like a trade has to be exactly precise. But if I'm going to be in it for a year, you know, $1 here or there on oil just doesn't matter that much. Hello to you, sir. Well, since you missed the first hour and a half of this hour, 9 minutes, the MP361, you'll have to either watch the recording or come back tomorrow and ask me, okay? Because I've already done that. So make sure you subscribe the MP361 so that you're notified tomorrow when I start the webinar. It'll invite you right in. Okay? Make sure you subscribe. Carl and Darren, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. And ring the bell. Yeah. Oh, I don't recognize the MP361. Oh, maybe you don't chat as much. Or maybe you changed. I don't think you can change your username. Huh? Cool. All right, so let's go back into here. Well, first of all, how do you feel about this? I believe a bear would buy here. So anyways, the MP361, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. Thank you for being a subscriber. Huh? So now what? You're going to have to ask yourself what you want to do. Do you want to be buying that? Gazo! Gazo, Gazo! Gazorama! Thank you, Gazo. Or do you want to do it? Do you want to sell it again? Okay. If a bear is buying, bears actually want to sell, right? So right here. So this kind of idea. If you want this to continue, that's the first thought. Okay, that's just a little skippy scalpy 5-minute trade. Let's bust out a little bit. Okay, it's an out of position move, so you got to go to the 4-hour chart and look what you were given. Straight out of the swing trading course for out of position swing trades. Beauty. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, that's cool. So where are we going is the next question, as you should know. And I got to really back them out. And look at that. Okay. Out of position. Whoa. So the question is, do we drop hard and fast? And if so, does that take us back here? Good question. Right now, I think if I were me, we would want like, let's say that used to be support. So now it's going to be resistance. Oops. So now you go up here and then down into here. And then somebody goes like this and like that. And then I go like this, and then we go like that, and then we go here, and then we go here, and then we go that, and then we go here. So on and so forth. Hey now! Poor Ozzy, huh? Poor Ozzy. So this is where Ozzy, this particular week, based on seasonality, is where the drop in Ozzy was supposed to stop, right? And January is actually where it was supposed, but it started in December here. But from here to here, okay, this is what we did from the third week of August until the December move and the December-January period, or even Thanksgiving to January period, which Thanksgiving would have been here, is where this trend often heads back down. And it's very interesting that in that almost 6-month period in which we typically stabilize, it moved sideways most of it, and then tried to stabilize, and then just it rolled quickly and early. Amazing. Just amazing. I really wanted, like, this happens, okay? And I think we talked about this because I believe we were on this hardcore. And then this happened and it was disappointing, but that happens. And then this took off and I felt really good, you know, and I wanted to go further first so that we could have a dip probably all the way back. And then this way, sort of like April. And I didn't get that at all. And I still have to ask myself why. The U.S. economy is still doing pretty good. China's contracting, but it makes sense to me why. In the middle of a trade war, okay, that makes sense. And Europe, I mean, it's just a mess. Europe is just a mess and causing a lot of these problems. So I can see how that impacts China. And China doesn't have the domestic economy they're trying to create like the United States does have. But like U.S. companies are making money. And they're selling things and such. There definitely is a slowdown in the U.S. economy. 6 months ago, it was ripper. Huh? Remember how I told you I went into a store and I wanted to buy, I think it was Tommy Hilfiger chairs. 2 upholstered chairs. It was slightly different design chairs, but the exact same fabric. All done by Tommy Hilfiger. Beautiful, right? And I'm looking at it, and then I go find my wife. I'm like, hey, come look at these chairs. I'm interested in buying them. And then they were sold. I'm like, what? And then I noticed someone else. So then the store moves them away, and the store sets up new stuff. And I'm sitting there watching them, and then someone came up within 10 minutes and bought that. They were setting these things up, not the same things, the different things, right? But they were setting them up on display, and every 10 minutes someone would buy the display. And there was long lines, and the store couldn't keep the place stocked enough because they were selling them faster than they could set them up. Really amazing. Wasn't quite like that in Christmas. So there is a bit of a slowdown for sure. And I've had several contractors over to the house recently, and they are also seeing a bit of a slowdown. But I had a $30,000 project, agreement signed, estimate, we all agreed to it, and they're not showing up because they're too busy. They don't want to do a $30,000 project. It's too small for them. So there's still stuff going on, but maybe those types of things lag a little bit. Like once that project they're on is over, then they'll be begging to take the $30,000 project. But I've emailed them 6 or 7 times. I'm like, dude, we had an agreement. You were going to do this. Like, this was supposed to be on your schedule. And they're at the point where they don't even respond to my emails anymore. Not even a courteous, piss off email. Just amazing. So we'll see. As an economist, we'll see where all this goes. And I'm a bit surprised. And I have to be very open. So, I'm supposed to be the smartest guy in the room, right? This is me supposed to be the expert and stuff. So I hope you don't mind. I hope it doesn't shatter your mind that I speak with you openly, that I may be wrong, or I have to be open-minded to not being right, and maybe I need to go back and do some homework, and that some of these things I didn't see happening to the degree that they're happening. I hope you don't mind that I say that. But I'm trying to share my thought process so that it's a learning experience per se. Okay? Hopefully it doesn't make me look like a fool. Hopefully. So that's the gold, dollar, yen. Well, let's go to here. So that was, let's do it this way. Could Brexit lead to Europe's demise, leading to the next black swan scenario? Well, first of all, we all see it, so it can't be a black swan. Will Brexit lead to Europe's demise? I don't think Europe is worried about that. I think it's not helping the UK much. Yeah, and I hope so too, Edward. The thought process, I think, is gold. Yeah, so what do we do here? Once again, way out of position. There's no conservative swing strategy on this. Seems to me to be sort of like this and then down again. So it'd be interesting if we're down here like the 20th of January and working our way back up. But remember, I don't think we're going to have a big recovery. I think what's going to happen is we reprice everything. Okay. And again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, go watch the one from December 31st. It was a 2-hour webinar, and I discuss a lot of this in great detail over the course of probably 40 minutes. But I'm thinking reprice everything, and then, you know, literally, 7 months of sideways. And here's the interesting thing, guys. I think in sideways markets, remember, they're not quite sideways, right? What do they actually look like? A sideways market actually looks like this. Okay. I think that's the type of market that people blow their trading account up with. I think this is a sideways market. I think if we, and by sideways, I mean like 300 pips up, 300 pips down, 400 pips, 500 pips down. But nonetheless, not trending on the long term. Maybe we have like I say, like the yens will strengthen for 2 weeks, then we'll have a false rally for 2 weeks, and then we'll have yen strengthening again for 2 or 3 weeks. Like we'll have that type of scenario, and you better know how to trade because those that are reacting to the market will do things like see that we've been up for 3 weeks and so start buying. And then they'll see we're down for 3 weeks and start selling, you know. And they'll do the opposite and they'll lose money. Like people that don't have trade plans, which is most amateurs, right? I think this is where they get destroyed. And they're looking at their MACD and they're like, well, my MACD, blah, 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 blah. My MACD told me to buy it. Well, your MACD was looking back here too, just like you were. It's not looking forward, right? So that's where the human mind really comes in, and some experience and all that kind of stuff. You know, so we need situational awareness and readiness, and that's what we'll do together as a group. But going back to the sideways thing, I think I found in my history that I didn't lose money per se in downtrends, and I didn't lose money in per se in uptrends. it was sideways markets that hurt me the most, right? Because nothing ever gets going. And then and that starts to lead to mental or emotional mistakes as well. But if you're just simply not even a good trader, think about it like you could sell in here and just get lucky, right? And make money. You just, because you're selling with the trend, you're like, I sold it. And you could have sold it poorly and you didn't take your loss, so you wrote a big loss, but then it took off in your direction and you made money anyways. Like you can make 3 or 4 mistakes and still make money, right? In here, in a sideways market, you make mistakes, and you tend to get punished, I think. And so, imagine 500 pips up and 300 pips down, and then a real consolidation over the summer, and then a break and a false sprint, and then, it's these types of things where not only are you making mistakes here, but you're making mistakes here, and it compounds so quickly. And then there's frustration that builds in, and then very often, I can't imagine some new trader coming in saying, I'm going to try Forex. I'm going to put $5,000 into an account, and if I blow up my account, I'll go do Bitcoin or something. And they jump in let's say June, and they piss around through June, July, and August because that's when they have vacation. And they're almost certainly going to blow up their trading account. And then, of course, they miss the big rally in September, October, right? So you're not going to be in that situation, obviously. So I think we're going to have a lot of work to do in the first, certainly 8 or 9 months of 2019. Okay? But I think things are going to change. Like this year is not going to be like last year or the year before, because our fundamentals are changing, right? Like the EU, for example, they're still reducing their QE. The Fed's going to stop all stimulus at zero bound. Like we're basically there now. We're at the neutral zone, but the U.S. economy is going to grow at 2.5% or 2.4%, right? Which means if we're neutral now, but the economy grows, we're going to have to raise 1 or 2 more times to just stay at neutral. And at some point, the economy is really going to slow down, and the Fed will have to do something and just say, well, we're going to let it overshoot slightly because we don't like the direction of the market. Because it was growing at 3 and then 2.5 and then 1.9, 1.9 growth is certainly not going to be inflationary. It's going to be deflationary, and that's going to bring CPI down. And we already have oil down by 50% on WTI. So that's also disinflationary. So the Fed's going to get there and really pause. So maybe the June meeting is going to be the last rate hike for quite some time. And then the next one to really consider would be December 2019. It really depends on if the markets rally in the second half. So this first half is going to be repricing of assets. Okay? And then the second and third quarters are probably going to be this rangy stuff, in which you better be a hell of a trader, or you're likely to give your money back. FXbootcamp.com, Rob. Okay. Started about 15 years ago, Rob. FXbootcamp.com. Well, okay, Sulev says, can you talk about CAD Swissy? Well, I'm going to talk about CAD Swissy on this chart. In fact, you know what? Let's just do it this way. I'm just trying to make a point. I don't want to look at it technically. Let's discuss it. Okay. Sulev, and everyone else that's interested. Oil is at $44 a barrel, WTI. Okay, which I'm guessing means Brent is at 50. Okay, cool. Over the next 3 months, 3 months now, over the next 90 days, will Brent and oil go lower or higher? Okay, the next, and this is going to affect CAD. Now, what about the stock market? Stocks. Is the stock market, whatever market you're talking about, is it going to go up or down? Okay, and this is going to affect Swissy. Okay, so Sulev says neither, so sideways on oil. Okay, what about stocks, Sulev? Up slowly. Okay, so now you're going to say, in that case, you believe Swiss franc is going to slowly weaken. Okay, and CAD is not going to strengthen. So that means your CAD Swissy over the next 90 days is slowly going to rise. Okay. Now here's the problem. If oil slowly rises, this won't do anything. Because CAD would strengthen. Wait. No, I got this wrong. Sorry, let me go back. If the stock market slightly goes up, Swissy will weaken. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, if stock markets go up, stocks go up is what you're saying, then Swiss franc will go down. And if oil doesn't fall, CAD will not weaken. So if CAD doesn't weaken and Swissy does weaken, the CAD Swissy will go up slightly. But if oil does go up from, let's just say 44 to 50, and Brent goes from 50 to 55, CAD yen is going to go up, or sorry, CAD Swissy is going to go up faster. So based on your analysis, fundamentally, okay, let's clear this out. So based on your analysis, fundamentally, Sulev, right, I'm going to mark this, Sulev, okay, oil, neutral, stock market, what did you say, up slightly? Okay, in that scenario, Sulev, you get CAD Swissy slightly up. Okay, if you're right about stocks, but because the stock market is going up slightly, oil's going to go up slightly too. So now if we have oil up slightly and stocks up slightly, your CAD is going to be up, not vertical, but more steeply. Okay? And wow, look at the time, guys. Holy smokes. You didn't tell me I went on. I took too much of your time this morning. I apologize for that. But hopefully today was helpful. Hopefully you appreciated it. Hope you learned something. Please visit tradersway.com. Open a trade account today. It's the raison d'etre for hosting these webinars every day. See, the executive team at Traders Way wants their clients to succeed because it's good business to have a client succeed and trade profitably for years and years and years and years to come. That's the whole reason that we're here. It's good business to have you succeed. So these webinars are designed to give you hopefully the knowledge and the discipline to trade profitably and successfully for years and years and years. And they're putting this in front of you now, even if you're not a client. So you need to pay it back. And the way that you show your loyalty and respect is by opening an account at Traders Way. And then we have the symbiotic relationship where they want to provide you a great service and you want to trade profitably. And if they can work together, then you're going to have a successful business relationship for years and years and years and years and years. Okay, it's symbiotic. So please visit Traders Way and open that account. For everyone else, download the chart templates. Remember I told you I'm going to send you that dollar index indicator? I'm going to email people that have downloaded the charts. Otherwise I don't know you. How am I supposed to send it to you? So that's how we're going to do it. So if you haven't done so, download the chart templates in the description below the YouTube video. It's actually charts.fxbootcamp.com. Okay, if you're watching it somewhere else somehow, charts.fxbootcamp.com. I'll send that out. I'll try to remember, if not today, tomorrow. Okay. And then what else do I need to say? Oh, swing trading and day trading start essentially Monday, Sunday afternoon, Monday. So you need to sign up. What more do I need to say? So fxbootcamp.com, and if you have questions, Wayne at fxbootcamp.com. Take care. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.